having any sort of an elbow pain and we're having trouble getting that elbow to be completely straight, a good technique that we can do is we're just going to put our hand down onto a table or onto a surface that's a good height for us with our fingertips pointed back, elbow slightly bent, and we're just going to work that elbow into straight and back. We just want to work back and forth with that. We can play around with this a little bit by rotating our upper arm, so maybe I'm trying to turn my arm in, and I can work on bending and straightening that elbow. The emphasis is on trying to get that elbow straight, or maybe I can rotate that arm out. Now when we do this with the wrist locked like that, there's not a lot of motion there as far as the rotation goes, but we are trying to just get that elbow straight, and that gives a lot of people elbow pain relief pretty quickly. When we're having trouble flexing over our wrist or pulling our fingertips back, that can happen because the joint in the back of the wrist can get congested. So all we want to do with that is we're going to put our hand down flat on the mat, fingers pointed away, and then as I shift my weight forward, that helps create that angle over the back of my wrist. Now I can play around with this a little bit. I could use my opposite hand to stabilize the palm of that hand because I don't want the heel of my hand coming up off the table. And as I hold that down, I can rock in and out of it. And I can also add some rotation. So maybe I rotate my arm in, pointing my elbow out to the side and rock forward and back. Or maybe I rotate my arm out, pointing the seam of my elbow forward and rock that forward and back. Right, when you're doing this is an area that can get congested easily. So try to get some more mobility in there. At some point there's going to be some pinching, and that's because this joint at the wrist needs to move backwards towards the back of the heel. So that's why we use the opposite hand to apply just slight pressure into it. And as you do it over time, it'll loosen up more and that wrist will be moving better.